Hi friends, I'm Swapna Gajjala and I heartily welcome you all to PSSM Global Show Soul Connect. PSSM Global is an initiative to strengthen the roots of Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement worldwide. PSSM's sole mission is to spread Anapanasati meditation, plant based food, spiritual science, and beneficial uses of pyramid energy to one and all. One of the 18 guiding principles of PSSM emphasizes on listening and sharing meditation experiences to enhance one's spiritual progress. Through this show, we want to connect you all to various spiritual masters across the globe who will share their words of wisdom, their journeys, and experiences. I'm very happy and excited to welcome our guest, Pradeep Vijay. Pradeep was born in India in 1982 and migrated to Australia in 2005. He completed his Bachelor's of Engineering in Chennai and Masters of Information Systems in Melbourne, Australia. In 2008, his quest for truth and eternal happiness led him to practice of intense meditation for 3 years under the guidance of Brahmarshi Subhash Patriji, founder of Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement. During this period, he found all answers to his questions about life, life after death, and his life purpose on earth. Beginning 2011, Pradeep started teaching meditation and spiritual science. He is also the custodian of a very special 144 facet divine crystal gifted to him by the Galactic Council. He has conducted numerous crystal meditation workshops, self healing retreats, self realization retreats in more than 30 countries. It is his mission to teach meditation and spiritual science to the seekers of the truth all over the world. During his crystal meditation sessions, participants receive galactic energy codes which activate the true human potential to radiate joy, kindness, compassion, love, and ultimately experience oneness. He, along with his wife Navneet, conducts workshops and organizes meditation sessions on various spiritual science topics in Singapore and across the globe. Hearty welcome, Pradeep, to Soul Connect.
Namaste. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Pradeep, can you please share us like how you came into this path and how you connected to your soul?
Right from my childhood, I had this quest, curiosity to know about myself. From a very early age, I think was somewhere like 2.5, 3 years. So I used to ask my mother, "Who am I? Where did I come from?" So my mother used to say, "You came from my tummy," and I said, "How did I enter your tummy?" And she said, "No, all these questions I don't know. It's only the yogis know all those questions. How did you enter my tummy?" And the next I asked, what happens after death? What is death? What happens after death? So she said, all those things only enlightened people know. Only yogis and rishis know. I don't know. And when you grow up, you will find the answers. So she was very honest in saying that she don't know, and I will know when I grow up. So that gave me a motivation that one day I'm going to know all those things when I grow up. So my main curiosity as a child was to know before birth and after death. So that was the main key area I want to know. Where did I come from and where will I go? Before birth and after death was always my curiosity as a child. So I can say this spiritual seeking was there from a very early age, and I think uh, I think it's coming from my past lives. Yeah, so the seeking was always there, and so I waited till I was kind of like so when I was growing up, all those fundamental questions went into the back seat because there was school, education, teachers, parents. So you have to. So in those days when we were studying, so to get the first rank, there was a ranking system. So to get the first rank was the priority. To get admitted into as an engineer or as a doctor, to have an education as an engineer or a doctor, to get settled down in life, that was the priority. From that was the expectations from the parents, and that was the expectations from the society in those days. So my focus shifted on that. Then I finished my engineering from University of Madras in the year 2003. Then I went to Australia to do my further studies, masters. And after I finished my masters in Australia, Melbourne, I got my permanent residency, I got a job, and I was settled there. So after I got settled there, so these fundamental questions, what is life, what is beyond this, because I was working hard for this kind of a settlement from my childhood, and I finished my studies. I got a job. I got a permanent residency in Australia. So that was the time I started asking those fundamental questions which I had from my childhood. It started coming back to me again. So, what is life? What is beyond the success? So then the search again started, and in that search, I found meditation, and through meditation, I got my answers. So that's to be precise.
So, any significant experiences you've had uh, since you started this journey?
A lot of significant experiences. The first time I started meditating, first time I started closing my eyes and observing my breath, there was a happiness coming from within. So I realized uh, this. I realized that to be happy, you need to go within. You don't need to do, because I was looking for happiness outside. So in the process of this seeking the truth, my goal was I not enlightenment. My goal was I want to be happy 24/7. So through meditation, I want to be happy 24/7. Because through meditation, I want to know the answers. If I know the answers, then I'll be happy naturally. If I don't know the answers, I don't know anything about me, then naturally I cannot be happy from the soul level. So once I know about me, who am I, and what is my purpose of life, and where will I go after that. So once I know everything about me, then naturally I'll be happy from the soul level. So my focus was always on the happiness, soul happiness. And so the moment I started meditating, I realized that the happiness is radiating from within without doing anything. Just being a witness to your own breath, you can be happy. So that was a great discovery for me. And the very realization that there is no death. During my meditation, I realized that there is no death for me and no death for anybody. So we are eternal beings. So that realization was a very significant experience for me, that there is no death. We are all an eternal beings, and there is life after death. And we all come on a mission, and we do our job, and we learn the soul lessons. It's just like a drama where we come, we take up the roles, we play certain roles, and then there's some experiences, and with that experiences there is more of understanding, there is more enlightenment, and it's always a work in progress. Always there is a space for perfection. So it's always a work in progress, and understanding all those very fundamental things, that there is no death and life is eternal, and whatever happens for experience. Failure is a greater experience than success. Success gives you materialistic gains, but failure gives you spiritual gains. So all those understandings was a defining moment in the journey. But yes, for your question, I never had any third eye experiences. I never had any out of body astral experiences. I never had any experiences what the normal meditators had. But my great experience was the realization when I realized from within that there is no death. That was a very significant moment. And also, we are, it's just a game, it's just a drama, and we need to witness it. So, fundamentally, this life became very fascinating. So I started looking for experiences. I stopped worrying about success or failure. I was more looking for experiences. So these were the defining moments in my spiritual journey.
Through meditation, we find the purpose of our life. So, how do we know that this is the purpose of our life?
Okay, so it comes with trial and error. In my case, it was a trial and error. I wanted to know what is my purpose of life, but who is going to tell you? Who is going to tell me? I was questioning like, who is going to tell me? I thought maybe some astral masters will come and tell me in my meditation. Nothing of such happened. It was basically a trial and error. Whatever the job you do, and if that job gives you a soul level happiness, that is your purpose of life. Right. So there is happiness on many levels. There is happiness on the body level, mind level, intellectual level, and there is a happiness on the soul level. So whatever gives you the soul satisfaction, right? So that is your purpose of life, and the purpose of life keeps changing. It's not a fixed one. Like 10 years ago, when I started my meditation, at that moment, my purpose of life was to do intense meditation. Right? So later on, when I came into the middle path, doing job and teaching meditation simultaneously. So at the time, my purpose of life was to live a middle path. Then in the 2014, when I received a crystal from the Galactic Council, then my purpose of life was to teach meditation all over the world. So the purpose of life keeps changing, right? It's gradual, it's progressive. But to understand what is everyone's purpose of life, they have to go with their feelings. They have to go with their soul satisfaction. So it is very important they connect and they focus on the soul satisfaction. So anything you do that gives you soul satisfaction is your purpose of life.
Very beautifully explained. Thank you. So, can you tell us about the crystal? We're very curious to know about the crystal and the how you got it.
Yeah, so it was in the year 2014. I think I was still working as a software engineer. So let me tell you my journey a little bit before I explain about the crystal. So I went into intense meditation in the year 2008. So 2008, 2009, 2010, for about 2.5 years, I was doing very intense meditation. I quit all my job and I used to lock up myself in a room in Australia. Most of my practice happened in Australia, Melbourne. So I used to lock up myself in a room and I used to meditate very intensely, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours per day. And so this, I was like this for 2.5 years. And in this 2.5 years, I discovered all the questions I had, the answers came from within. It's just like a knowing, you know. When I read some book, it's just suddenly something clicks from inside, and I understand certain things. It's not like understanding on the mind level; it is understanding on the soul level. Because when I was doing that intense meditation, I was in the no mind state most of the time. So when I was in the no mind state, it was my soul which is very radiant, and so I got all my answers from as a realization from within. I didn't get the answers from outside. I got the answers from within. Because when your mind is empty, your soul speaks to you. So that is what we call it as a realization, right? So I was in that intense meditation path till February 2010. So I was quite satisfied with myself that I got all my answers. And but when I looked back, I felt like I was in the extreme spiritual path because I couldn't connect to the outside world. For me, the outside world appeared stupid because they are running behind money, they're running behind name, they're running behind many, many things, but they don't know anything about themselves. So for me, the whole outside society was appearing like a crazy thing. You know, for example, a boy who doesn't know himself, he doesn't know himself. He's already a confused person, and he's getting married to a girl who herself is confused. So, to confusion, getting married creates a disaster, and they don't know anything about themselves, and they started giving birth to the children. So they don't know anything where they have come from, who they are, what is the purpose of life, what is death. They don't know anything. They're still giving birth to new people, new souls. So I used to think like, what kind of a chaotic, crazy world outside is it? And when people speak certain things, you know, when people speak about real estate, share market, money, so I can clearly see that it's their fear consciousness which is making them speak those things, which is making them think those things. Most of the people, they are stuck in the survival consciousness. Most of the people, they are stuck in the fear consciousness, guilt consciousness, and shame energy to trying to prove to others. So these three things I noticed, and it was a situation where I felt like the whole world is crazy, and naturally the world outside, they thought I'm crazy, because they said, okay, this person has quit the job, this person has quit everything, and he has become a hermit, and he is sitting in a room and he's meditating. So all my friends and my family members thought I'm crazy, and for me, they are crazy. So there was a disconnect between me and the outside world. So that's when I realized that if I want to help, if I want to make an impact, if I want to inspire, then I need to be part of the society. So unless I'm part of the society, I cannot do anything. So that's when I started looking for the middle path. So for middle path at that time for me was to find a job, and uh, and to get married and to just be like a normal person, but still live with the truth I am. So I decided I'm going to be in the middle path. Then I applied a job, and the very first job I applied, I got the job, and it was very interesting. It was a very interesting experience I got, because for 2.5 years, for 3 years, I was out of the job. And you can understand, if you're in IT, if you're in information technology, if you're out of job for 3 years, then you are permanently out because you cannot catch up with the technology. It's very difficult to find a job. And so I was not having confidence to even to apply a job because for 2.5, 3 years, and the only thing I know is closing the eyes and emptying the mind. So I couldn't remember anything what I studied. And so I was not having confidence even to apply for a job. So that's when there was an inner voice which came, like it's more like a feeling, which came that is, it said that you didn't waste any time. The last 3 years, you didn't waste any time. So this was the most productive period of your life where your life went into a complete overhaul and you understood yourself and you discovered what is happiness, what is eternal happiness. So you don't need to feel bad, just apply. Trust the process, just apply. The universe is behind you. So this is the voice I got from within. And so I blindly trusted and I applied a job. The very first job I applied, I got the interview call. And it was in 2010. During the time, there was still recession was going on in Australia. So it was like, okay, I got an interview call one day around 10, and they asked me to come around 12 for an interview. So there's hardly 2 hours. So I don't know what to do in this 2 hours, like which books to refer, what to refer, how to prepare. So then I told myself, okay, the only thing I know is meditation, so better I do meditation and go to interview. So I got myself ready and I sat for meditation for about 30, 40 minutes. So in that meditation, there was this inner voice which started coming. It's more like a feeling. The inner voice started saying, you do the interview, you do the interview. And I was like, what is this? I'm going for an interview. The voice was saying, you do the interview. So I came out of the meditation and I was driving my car it was about a 20 minutes drive. I was going to attend the interview. So while I was driving, the voice was continuously coming up. You do the interview. You do the interview. So I was like contemplating, what is interview? Interview means asking questions, and I'm getting the message like you do the interview. So then I felt like, okay, what is this crazy thing? You do the interview. I'm going to get interviewed, but I'm getting like you do the interview. So then it kind of made sense, like, okay, whatever the question they are going to ask, I don't know anything. So I don't want to be a fool in front of them. So I rather go ask questions and come back so that I save my face. So I entered the office. The receptionist opened the door and she asked me to take a seat in the conference room. So I was sitting in the conference room and I was going into a trance space. I was going into a trance space, and for a moment, I went into a trance space that I was already working in that company. Right, so I got that. I went into a trance for a few seconds, and while I was in the trance, there was a lady who opened the door, and she entered, and I looked at her and I said, "Welcome, please take your chair." And so she is the manager who's going to interview me. So she went a little bit taken back and she smiled at me and she said, "Oh, okay, thank you." And then she made herself comfortable. She sat on the chair. So before she can ask anything, I started opening my mouth and the words started coming. It's as if like a flow experience. So I was in a trance state and I started asking her, "Tell about yourself." The very first question, before she could ask anything, I shot at her a question, "Tell about yourself." And she was taken back and she started explaining that I'm a manager, I'm working in this company for so and so, I work on this project, blah, blah, blah. And then before she could finish that question, I started asking another question, asking another question. So like this, I was asking for 10 minutes. Anything in my imagination. I asked like, tell about your profile, tell about the team combination, tell about the work ethics, tell about the market share, tell about the platforms we use. Every possible imaginary question I asked for 10 minutes. And I said, okay, I'm done with my questions. You may start the interview. So the lady never spoke a single word. She took a piece of paper, she wrote something, and she put in front of me. And she said, if you're happy with this package, you can join next Monday. I was like, what? I was getting a job without asking a single question. So I was looking on the piece of paper because she wrote a figure. I was looking with great disbelief. I was like, was it true that I got a job? What's she saying? Like, what is this amount? So I applied for a 6 months contract role. The job was a 6 months contract job. And so she wrote a figure and the figure was too high. So I thought, okay, I was dividing by two because normally they give an annual package. So this is a 6 months one. So I said, okay, I was dividing by two. I was dividing by half, and I was still gazing into that. I was completely in a trance. Still, I was dividing by two and looking into the figure. And for a few seconds, for a couple of seconds, I looked into the figure. Then the lady said, "You are very highly qualified. Ours is a small company, and this is what the maximum we can offer." So that time I got my composure back, and because I cannot pretend that I'm surprised with this. So I put an artificial face, and I told her, "It's okay. I don't work for money. I liked you, and I like your ethics, so I'll take up this offer." And she was happy, and she shook the hands and said, "Okay, we'll see you on Monday." And I came out of the office. I came out of the interview, and I told myself, like, this is a fake job. Why would any person on the planet Earth give me a package which was actually, to my surprise, she said that is a 6 months package, so which I was expecting was double than what I was expecting. So she was giving a double the package what I was expecting, and then no questions asked, and she said I got a job. So I was telling myself, like, this is a fake job. So I never told anybody that I got a job. I said, okay, I'll wait till Monday. And Monday I'll come back to the office and I'll come to know it is fake. So um, I went on Monday and I found that it's a real job. And then when I asked the manager later on, after a few days, I asked, why did you select me without asking a single question? So then I understood that she was looking for a leadership position. She was looking for a leadership role. And she rejected 7, 8 people before me. And none of the interviews lasted less than 1 hour. And my interview was hardly 15 minutes without asking a question. She gave the job. So she was looking for a leadership role. And that's the message I got in my meditation. You do the interview. So the very way I was asking questions, she felt confident that I am the right person for this job. So it was through meditation I got my job, right? And so I was in that job for 5 years till 2014. So I was doing job for, because, and then the beauty was when I got the offer letter. So it was not a 6 months, it was infinite. There's no deadline. So that was another magic which happened. The interview was for 6 months role. I applied for 6 months role. The interview was for 6 months role. But when I got the offer letter, uh, maybe it's a typo or I don't know. The offer letter didn't have the end date. So which means I became a permanent contract employee. So I was in that job for 5 years, almost 5 years. So I used to work for 1 month and then I used to take 1 month off. And in that 1 month, I used to travel around like Australia, New Zealand, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia. I used to travel countries. I used to come to India also frequently to meet more people, to teach meditation, and to have this experience of meeting people and teaching meditation. So I used to travel a few countries around Australia. So like this, my journey was till 2014. Half the time, like I never worked more than 6 months per year. So 6 months working, and whatever the money I got from that job, I used to travel and I used to teach meditation. So I was in this kind of a journey till 2014. And in the year 2014, I felt very deeply that I should quit this job and do teaching as a full-time meditation. So that was the time I asked my spirit guides that I'll be probably quitting this job. I don't like this job. The job is very easy. I'm getting the money and my life is comfortable, but there's no soul satisfaction. My soul satisfaction was when I was teaching meditation to other person, when I became an inspiration to another person. So that gave me the maximum soul satisfaction. So I do realize that in this lifetime, this is what I'm going to do. So then I was asking my spirit guides that I'm going to quit my job in the year 2014 January, but they told me to wait till September. So I said, okay, I'll wait till September. In the month of July, this all happened in the year 2014. So in the month of July, I got an email from a lady called Nina Brown, who was living in Santa Fe, New Mexico, United States of America. So I don't know that lady. I never met that lady. And she got my contact through another friend from Mumbai, through her friend in Mumbai. And she just emailed me in the month of July. she said, I got a message from the Galactic Council, and there is a very special crystal I have, and I have to give you that crystal, and you will be the custodian, and I have to speak to you. So this is the email I got, and I was like, okay, fine, because at the time I was already in contact with the star beings. I know what she's speaking about, all those galactic councils and all the things. So I said, okay, fair enough. So then we met on the Skype for the first time, and she showed me the crystal, and it looks very beautiful. It's one of the she told it's one of the most powerful crystals on the planet Earth, and she received that crystal through Archangel Metatron, and she was the previous custodian of that crystal, and she got this message that she has to give that crystal to me. So she got a message, there is a person called Pradeep in Melbourne, and you have to give that crystal to him. So she got all the channeling messages that she has to come to India, to come to Pyramid Valley, and there will be a ceremony. And in that ceremony, she has to hand over the crystal to me. So on October 2nd, 2014, in Pyramid Valley, Bangalore, in India, so there was a grand celebration. There was a grand ceremony. So in that ceremony, Patriji and Nina Brown, they both gifted the crystal to me. So I received the crystal from the hands of Patriji and Nina Brown. So after I received the crystal, I asked Patriji, what do I do with this crystal? Because I don't know anything about the crystals. Until then, my journey was all about meditation. I never worked with crystals, and I don't know anything about crystals. And Patriji said, this is not a normal crystal. This is a very powerful crystal. It's a very special crystal from the other dimension. And the crystal will take you all over the world, and you are going to teach meditation to all over the world. And your astral masters, your spirit guides, your galactic friends, they're going to monitor your movement. They're going to monitor your movements on the planet Earth through this crystal. So there's going to be a two-way communication between planet Earth and the other dimension through this crystal. So this is what he said, and I was like, okay, I didn't get excited. At the same time, I was like, what is this? How can the crystal take me around the world? So I quit my job in September 2014, and I got the crystal on October 2nd. So after I quit my job, I received this crystal. And after I received this crystal, people around the world, they don't know me, but they know this crystal. So they get messages in their meditation or in their dreams that they need to meet this crystal. So those people from around the world, many, many countries, they contacted me. They somehow got my contact details. They contacted me. They invited me to their places, to their countries, and they sponsored the tickets, and they looked after me. So wherever I go, they are interested, curious to meet the crystal and the crystal energies. So wherever I go, I make them sit in meditation, and I teach about science of meditation and spiritual science and vegetarianism, law of karma, pyramid energy. So that's how the crystal and myself, we started working since 2014. So when I look back now, it's been more than 30 countries. We traveled with the crystal, and in more than 15 countries, we have students, seekers who practice meditation, who became vegetarian, and also they became teachers of meditation in their own respective countries. So that's my journey with the crystal.
Amazing journey. And this is the first time I'm hearing an interviewer asking questions to the interviewer. And it's wonderful how you were constantly connected to your inner voice and you were guided
Yes.
by it. And even though you said like your purpose of life changed in between, but you were always continuously connected to the purpose of spreading meditation and teaching meditation. So that's amazing journey and amazing story about the crystal.
My focus and my emphasis was always to do the things which gives me maximum joy from the soul level. So I was always focused on I know that we are all temporary. That I realize that I'm going to be on the planet Earth for on a temporary period of time. So I don't want to waste time. So always my focus was I never blindly believed in any messages. Like I do get many messages, and I have many friends who do channeling also. Like they are well-known channelers from many countries. They are my good friends, because what happens during these travels, I connect with many spiritual people. I connect with many people who are on this path. So they are gifted people. They can see the Akashic records. They can read Akashic records. They can see auras, and they channel from the galactic beings. They channel from archangels. So I met many people who are gifted. But one thing I got trained in my journey is that always go go with your feelings, and what you feel right in your heart, you do it. So whether you even if you receive a channeling message, even if an astral master or your own spirit guide, they come and they say something to you, so you don't blindly follow it. You have to always connect your heart. You have to feel whether it is right for you, and only when you feel it is right, then you do it, or else you never do it. So I got this training from at a very early age in my meditation practice, and to always tune into your heart and always be guided. So it's an interesting experience I got during. This is something very important I want to share. This is about discernment, right? This is one of the final lessons a spiritual seeker will learn: discernment. Discernment is your ability to tune in and to see what is right and what is not right. Right? That is discernment. So in the beginning days, like I got connected to the star beings in the year 2013. Even though I started practicing meditation from the year 2008, it was only in the year 2013 I started connecting with star beings and galactic masters and other dimension beings. So I used to blindly follow whatever they say. I was so excited in those days. I used to feel special. I used to feel special that, yeah, they're coming and communicating to me, and I have a mission on the planet Earth. And I used to feel a little bit of a special, what we call it as a spiritual ego. And so I used to follow whatever they say. I followed their messages. Sometimes they say, okay, you need to go to this country. I follow. And so there was one particular incident where my friends from the other dimension, they came and they told me that you need to go to. I was in Australia at the time. It was again in 2014, before I received the crystal. 1 month before I received the crystal, I got this training from them. So in the month of September 2014, October I received the crystal. So September, uh, they came to me and they said, you have to go to USA. There is a special mission for you there, and you are going to meet certain people, and you're going to go to travel to these cities and locations. So you're going to be there for 1 month, and it's your mission. And they gave an entire detailed plan, like which city, where to land, and which places I'm going to go, which people I'm going to meet, the contact details, everything. The blueprint is there. So given all those details, and I was so excited. I said, okay, now anyway, I'm going to quit my job. I did. So September, I quit my job. So I was so excited. Okay, now the mission begins, and mission America. So then I boarded the plane, and it was almost a 40 hours plane traveling across the Pacific and landing in Los Angeles. Then from there, I took another plane to going to Albuquerque in Santa Fe, New Mexico, then to Santa Fe. So first 4 days of that journey, first 4 or 5 days of that journey, everything went as per the plan. So I met the people who I was guided to meet. Everything was according to the plan. First 5 days, and the sixth day, I came back to Los Angeles, and I was staying in the hotel in Los Angeles, a hotel near the airport, and I was waiting for further instructions. So nothing came. So sixth day, seventh day, I was stuck in a hotel. Nothing came, and no further guidance came. Because how the guidance was, they give a blueprint, and once you go to that location, they give you further information. So I was feeling like stuck. What is this? I don't know anybody in this country, and that's the first time I'm coming to America in this lifetime. And I don't know anybody, and I felt like it's a trap. Nothing was happening, no communication, no guidance. I felt like it's a trap, and I was like feeling so bad. Why did I even take this trip, getting to come and to get stuck in a country where I don't know anybody? And so for 2 days, I went through a great traumatic experience. I was in the room. I don't know where to go out also. And I was waiting for the messages, waiting for the message. Nothing was happening. So after 2 days, I was so furious and I was so fed up. And I said, no, I demand this. The Galactic Council should appear in front of me. This is my command. They should come. So with such furiosity, I spoke that they should come. And then there's a gentle presence of energy came with such a smile and warmth. And the first question I asked is, why did you do this to me? Like I followed you, and I feel like now I'm stuck. Why did you do this to me? I believed you. Why did you do this to me? So then they spoke with such a loving voice. Who asked you to believe us? It was a slap on my face. So they said, who asked you to believe us? And it was a big slap on my face. Then they said, this is the way we want to train you. You have a mission ahead, and we don't want you to be in an illusion. You should never blindly follow anything, whatever anybody says, even if God, even if Buddha comes, or Jesus comes, or even if Galactic Council comes, even if Star Being comes, or Archangel comes, anybody, they come and they channel a message to you. You should never blindly follow it. You should always tune into your heart and feel if it is right. Take responsibility, then go ahead. So life is all about taking responsibility. The more spiritual you are, the more you follow your intuition, you will not follow others. So with that great understanding, I thank them. I came back all the way. So to learn this lesson of discernment, I have to go all the way to America and come back, spending a lot of money. So this was a very significant training they gave me. My star friends, they gave me this training. And after they gave me this training in September, I received the crystal in October. So after I received the crystal, then I always felt guided only with my intuition. So this was a significant experience for me in my spiritual journey, never to follow any channeling messages. Yes, sometimes the channeling messages are true. You see, this happens like this: 99% the channeling messages are true, but there is 1% which is not true. So this 1%, there will be a mischief energy. There will be mischief beings who want to create mischief. They come and they interfere. So how do you know which message is the right and which is not the right message? So your heart, your feeling from your heart space, your feeling from your heart space is your tool for discernment. So this was a very significant experience for me. And with this discernment training, I could able to come out of a lot of illusions. Right. So I used to had a lot of illusion. Right? Feeling special is one of the greatest illusion. Right. So when you have these galactic beings, when you have these archangels coming and speaking to you, you feel you are a special person. So that itself is the greatest illusion. So the greatest illusion is you feeling that you are special. So it was quite an amazing journey, like how I came out of this illusion, that feeling special. Then I realized that everybody is special, everybody's the same. Then also there is the spiritual trap. Everybody goes through this spiritual trap. In the beginning they get gifts. In the beginning they get a lot of gifts, and once they get identified with that gifts, then it's a trap. So they have to let go of their gifts. Then the wisdom comes, the buddhi comes. So first the siddhi comes, and once you let go, consciously you let go of the siddhi. Siddhi means gift, spiritual gift. So once you consciously let go of the spiritual gift, then the wisdom comes, buddhi, which comes from within.
This is such a great message. We realize that with practice, I've seen my friends and fellow masters who are like gaining this third eye, astral travel. It is first most important that you decide on what you want to do with your heart, rather than just, it's not by just attaining those special gifts, like, everything is done. It's a journey, and you need to constantly and consciously decide like what is important right now, and that comes from your heart. So that's a great message and a great journey, Pradeep.
I would say your heart space. I would say your
space.
heart space.
Yes, absolutely. Because many times we come across the situation wherein we get some opportunities and we are unable to decide what we want to do. And sometimes we fall into this thing of, oh, if this opportunity came to me, it is here because there is something in it for me. But your heart says, no, this is not the, you can just let go and maybe some other time. And you are in this battle as if you get confused. Am I rejecting something good for me? But what is good for you is what your heart says. And that is a great message. Thank you
That's
so much.
absolutely true, and you should always follow your own heart space, because that's when you become a master of your life. When you take responsibility and when you start doing what you feel, and you do only what you feel, then you become the master of your life. If you're just blindly following what another person is saying, whether the person can be your spiritual guru in the physical or invisible, doesn't matter. When you're blindly following another person, you will never be a master. You're just a follower. So to
Great
take that
message.
responsibility is to become a master.
Yes. So you were talking about connecting to spirit guides and angels for guidance. So how do
No,
we connect to this?
I never made an attempt to connect to them, but they came.
So we just need to be open and just do our meditation. And if we get connected, then we can take their guidance, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I never looked for. See, the interesting thing is, I was doing meditation, and I was feeling so happy, contented, peaceful in my own meditation, and I got all the answers from within. So I was least bothered to know my past life. I was least bothered to connect to spirit guides, to connect to angels. I was least bothered. And it was not even 1% in my mind that I should connect to them. It was very interesting that they used to come and they used to say certain things. They used to channel certain things. Because as I said, like I have a lot of friends who have gifted in this channeling. So most of the channeling messages comes through those friends. You know, when we meet, they suddenly channel something for me. Or sometimes some of my friends from another country, from New Zealand or from America, they call me out of nowhere and they say, "Oh, this is a message I was guided to tell you from your spirit guides, from your galactic command." And so they used to say blah blah blah, and then say, "Okay, finished," and they hang up the phone. So very strange that I never asked for it. So it voluntarily comes to me. So when it comes to me, that's when I need to feel, I need to decide like whether I should follow it or not. In the beginning, I used to blindly follow it. In the beginning, I was so excited. Wow, right, I'm special. I got this message. And I used to feel very excited and I used to blindly follow it. So then later on, I learned this lesson that you should always tune into your heart. And
Absolutely.
so I was never interested in any messages, but it came in my way.
Yes. So basically, you just need to keep your practice of meditation and be open and follow your heart.
For me, in my own experience, when you meditate, and what happens in meditation, you know, when you meditate, you are observing your breath. When you're observing your breath, your mind becomes empty. When your mind becomes empty, then your awareness it is no more on your mind level. When your mind is empty, your awareness is not on the mind. Your awareness is on the soul level, right? So right now, most of the people, their awareness is on the body level and the mind level and intellectual level. Their awareness is only on these three levels for most of the people. But once you sit in meditation, close your eyes and observe the breath, then your awareness shifts, goes beyond physical, goes beyond mind, goes beyond intellectual. So finally, your awareness is on the soul level. So when your awareness is on the soul level, you feel so complete. You feel this eternal bliss. You know, it's like you feel you are complete. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do. You are in that state of deep contentment. So in that state, you're least bothered about anything. You're least bothered about astral masters. You're least bothered about third eye experiences. You're least bothered about past lives. You're least bothered about anything because you're totally contented. So I was in that state. So that's the reason I was not looking for anything. So to answer your question, our focus should be to reach that state of completeness, to reach that state of contentment. So when your focus is to reach that level, you don't need anything from outside because everything is radiating from inside. The fountain of joy is radiating from inside. Why would you need anything from outside? But once you are in that state, sometimes the outside comes and compliments you. That I call it as intuition. Sometimes you do get feelings, right? Out of nowhere, you get a thought. It's not logical, but out of nowhere, you get a thought like, oh, I need to go to that place and I need to do certain things. So that's your intuition. So your intuition starts working very clearly. You will start listening to your intuition crystal clear only when your mind is empty. So your intuition becomes sharpened when your mind becomes empty. So meditation becomes very much essential to not only connect to yourself, but we all have this very unique gift. Everybody has this gift. It's called intuition. It's like an inner guidance, right? So many people they go through this up and down, even if they are meditating, even if they are in the spiritual path. Everybody goes through their up and down. Like sometimes they get confused, sometimes they start questioning, because the very nature of the mind is to question. The very nature of the mind is to start doubting things, and the very nature of the mind is to create expectations, and more the expectations, more the frustrations. So this is the very nature of the mind. And if you want to be in a very calm space, and if you want to be in a very sane, and you want to be focused, and you want to live your own true potential, then constantly you need to be guided by your intuition. So for that, meditation becomes very important. So it is that inner strength which guides you to go ahead. And when you are guiding with your, when you're going forward with your inner strength, then there is a possibility you become inspiration to the people around you. Right. So that is all. Be a master. The main core of the PSSM is, the tagline of PSSM is be a master. So this is the meaning of it.
You gave us the essence. Thank you so much for giving us so many insights as to how to connect to your intuition and how to listen to your heart and make conscious choices. And yes, as you said, through meditation, we connect to our intuition better. Yes.
Yeah, and some people, they ask this question quite frequently: how do we know whether it's the thoughts coming from the mind, or how do we know whether it is the intuition? Right. So for that, it's very important to empty the mind. Right. So the more you sit in meditation, the more deeper you sit in meditation, the more extended period of time you spend time with yourself in meditation, the more your mind is empty. So the moment your mind is empty, your awareness is on the soul level. So when your awareness is on the soul level, your heart speaks to you. Like this heart chakras, vibrations are very sensitive. So you connect to your heart chakra vibrations. So that I call it as intuition. So whenever, if you are feeling confused, or anybody who is feeling confused, whether it is my mind or whether it is my intuition, so the best is sit in meditation immediately, empty your mind. In the space of empty mind, whatever you feel, that is your intuition.
Beautifully summarized. Thank you, Pradeep. So we talk about chakras. We hear a lot about chakras. So how do we apply that knowledge in our practice? How does it help us?
Okay. So understanding chakra science helps us to be more aware in our day-to-day life. And it's more of to identify the issues we have within us. So once we understand, see, every chakra relates to a certain quality. For example, the root chakra, the first chakra, relates to the energy of fear, right? So every chakra has a negative energy, a demon energy, but when you work on it, it becomes your positive soul quality. Every chakra has a negative energy. When you identify that negative energy, when you start working on that negative energy, so that becomes your strength, that becomes your soul quality, soul potential, right? So the first chakra relates to the fear, the second chakra relates to guilt, the third chakra relates to shame energy, and the fourth chakra relates to grief, and the fifth chakra relates to the lies, the lie, and the sixth chakra relates to illusion, and the seventh chakra relates to attachments. So these are the demon energies associated with all these chakras. So once you understand, the chakra system is for you to transform these energies from these negative energies into soul qualities. Like when you start identifying your own fears, when you start identifying your own fears, when you start working on your fears, then the fear energy transforms into trust. So again, the trust is the quality of your soul, right? So when you start identifying the guilt energies, guilt is like a poison to the soul. So whenever you identify the guilt energies and whenever you are trying to work on it, the energy gets transformed into innocence, right? The very energy of guilt, when it transformed, it becomes innocence. We're all pure innocent beings. When we are born, we're all innocent. Every child is born innocent. So that is our true self. So somewhere we have forgotten our own true innocence. So when you start working on your guilt energy, then you radiate your innocence. So when you start working on your shame energy, then the opposite energy of the shame is self-respect. So again, every time we speak about respect, we say it's a self-respect, because respect doesn't come from outside. Respect comes from inside. So inside means self. So unless you connect to yourself, unless you know yourself, there is no way you can respect yourself. If you don't connect to yourself, then you are constantly believing others' opinions, others' judgments. But when you connect to yourself, when you know yourself, you are least bothered about others' judgments, others' opinions, because you know yourself. So then the respect comes. When you start respecting yourself, then you attract the respect from outside. So the respect comes from inside. So every chakra is associated with certain quality. And the first three chakras are very important. I would say because the first three chakras is what we need to work on. Once we work on these first three chakras, the rest of the chakras comes in alignment. The lower three chakras are the physical aspect, the higher chakras are the spiritual aspect. So once we start working on the physical aspect, simultaneously we are working on the spiritual aspect. Some people, they have this misunderstanding that the lower chakras are not important, the higher chakras are important. That's not correct. It's the lower chakras you can work on. You have the capacity to work on your fears and to transcend the fears, to transform the fears. The more you work on your fears, the first chakra is related to the sixth. So the more you come out of the fears, the more you come out of the illusion, because illusion is the demon energy of the sixth chakra. And then the second chakra is related to the fourth. The second chakra is all about guilt. The more you work on the guilt energy, the more you are working on your heart. Your heart becomes more sensitive. That's when you radiate your innocence. And again, the third chakra is related to your fifth chakra. The third chakra demon energy is a shame energy, like somebody pointing you, name calling, shaming from the childhood. You know, so this shame energy creates a repulsive force that you want to constantly prove to another person, I'm not that, I'm not that. So you start living for others, not for yourself. So people who are stuck in the shame energy, they are constantly focused on outside. They're focused on name, fame, money. They constantly, because of the shame, they don't have the respect. They don't have the self-respect. So they're looking for respect from outside. So these people, they are stuck in the third chakra. They are into the power games. They are into the ego games, right? Domination, power, ego, because they're looking for respect from outside. So once you start meditating, what happens? You connect to yourself. When you connect to yourself, then the self-respect comes from within. So when the self-respect starts coming from within, then it starts working on your fifth chakra. Because when you're egoistic, what happens? You use your throat, use your energy from the throat to dominate others. You raise your voice to dominate others, right? But when your third chakra is energy that is getting transformed into self-respect, then the words you speak is not for domination. The words is more sensitive, it's more gentle, it's more loving, and you speak the truth. The fifth chakra is all about the truth. So you express your truth because you have connected to yourself. Because you connected to yourself, you know the truth. Because you know the truth, you will speak the truth. So each chakra is connected to a certain quality. So for me, understanding the chakra science helps a lot in a person's spiritual journey. But you have to understand in the right spiritual way. Some people have this misunderstanding. They sit in a particular color room. Okay, the root chakra, the color is red, so they sit in a red color room and meditate, and they feel like the root chakra is getting balanced. Or sometimes they listen to a certain music, a certain frequency, and they say you listen to the music and your first chakra comes into balance, your second chakra comes into balance. No, that's not true. Unless you come out of all your fears, your first chakra is never in balance. Unless you come out of all the guilt energy, your second chakra is never in balance. Unless you come out of all the shame energy, your third chakra is never in balance. So now you tell me, is it possible that I listen to some music and I let go of all my fears, I let go of all my guilt? Is possible? No. And some people, they believe in healers. They go to another person. They believe in chakra healing. They say they go find some healers and they pay some money and they say, oh, the healer is going to help me balance my chakra. Now, how can somebody else take your fear off permanently? How can somebody else take your shame energy off permanently? It's not possible. Even if it is possible, it appears to be a possible, means temporarily it might work. It might work for 1 month or 2 months, but again the same quality comes back, because your chakra system is connected to your karma. Based on your karmic account, you take on certain challenges which gets into your chakra system. So in spirituality, everything is connected to everything. The lessons you want to learn is connected to your karma, and it's connected to your aura, it's connected to your energy system, it's connected to your chakra science. Everything is connected to everything. So it's a holistic approach. So when you see spirituality as a holistic approach, then you realize nobody can help me, only I can help myself. So when you have this understanding, no healer can help me, only I can help myself. No medicines can help me, only I can heal myself. I can heal my own physical health, emotional health, psychological health. Health is not only physical, health is physical, emotional, psychological, intellectual. So when you understand that only I can help myself, I can heal myself, then you understand the science of self-healing, right? So the science of self-healing relates to the chakra science. So when you understand the chakra science to empower yourself and integrate in your day-to-day life, that helps to raise your awareness, because every time you're going through a fear, you catch hold of yourself and you say, okay, I'm going through this fear. It is my fear. And why am I getting fear? And fear is the greatest illusion energy. How do I come out of the fear? The more I face my fears, the more I come out of my fears. So when you have this understanding of the chakra science, you understand the more you face your fears, the more you come out of the fears. So you implement that in your practical day-to-day life. So whenever you are going through fears, like many people have many fears, fear of survival, fear of judgment, fear of love, fear of acceptance, fear of death, fear of uncertainty, fear of unknown, fear of many things. So every time you go through this fear, it's a very subtle energy. So every time you go through this fear, you become aware of it and you start facing that fears. So when you start facing that fears, the very energy of fear transforms into trust. Trust on yourself and trust on the creation or God. So the more you have the trust, the more you come out of the fears. So whenever you have fear, you need to do two things. Face the fears, bring the trust in. Trust yourself, trust God, trust the creation. The more you have the trust, the more you face the fears, the more the fear energy transforms. And then the more you raise spiritually, your awareness raises. You can able to see crystal clear beyond all the veils and illusions. You can see crystal clear. So that's related to the first chakra. I'm just giving an example. And the second chakra is all about guilt, right? And the third chakra is all about shame. So the more you are working on your fear energy, the more you're working on your guilt energy, the more you're working on your shame energy, you are in the process of self-realization, self-healing, and ultimately enlightenment.
Thank you. Great information on chakra and how we need to work. This is like an eye opener for me. Like you have to work on your first three chakras, and automatically once you work on them, the rest of the things, they balance themselves. So
Yeah.
great,
And how do you work on your chakras? Meditation.
Ritesh.
The more you meditate, see, meditation gives you two things. Meditation gives you two things. Your awareness, the more you meditate, the more your awareness increases. Right? So what do we do in meditation? We close our eyes and observe the breath. So for 1 hour, we cut the thoughts, come back to breath, come back to breath. So what is happening? In this 1 hour, we are doing meditation, our awareness on the breath increases. Yes, so this is more of an awareness exercise. You're coming back to breath, cut the thoughts, come back to breath, cut the thoughts, come back to breath. So you're coming back to the breath again and again and again. So what happens? Your awareness on the breath increases. So so that 1 hour awareness helps you to be aware rest of the 23 hours. So the more you meditate, the more your awareness increases. That's number one. And number two, the more you meditate, the more you empty the mind, the more you receive cosmic energy. So when you do meditation, there are two things you receive. One, your awareness increases. And number two, you get more cosmic energy. With more and more awareness, you identify your own issues. You identify the root cause of your own issues. You identify what you need to work on. So identification is very important. When you identify, 50% of the problem is already solved. So when you identify the root cause of it, then you are ready to work on it. So how do you work on it? You need a lot of energy. You need a lot of strength to face all your issues. To face your fears, you need energy, right? You need a lot of energy to face your fears. So in meditation, you get awareness and energy. This awareness helps you to identify the root cause, the issues you need to work on, and the energy gives you the strength to face it. So this combination of awareness and energy you get in meditation. So the more you meditate, the more naturally the self-healing happens, the self-transformation happens, the enlightenment happens. So this is the science of meditation.
Great. Thank you. So we hear a lot about karma, free will, destiny. So how do we apply this concept of free will? Because they say it's based on your karma, is how your life current life is. And they also say you have a free will. So, how do we use this free will to overcome these challenges in the current life?
See, we have two things, destiny and karma, right? So what is destiny? That which is something destined to happen. So it is because of the karma we have destiny. Our destiny is based on our past life karmas. Okay. So karma is a very huge topic, but it's very simple. It's very easy to understand. If you want to go to the depth of it, you need to really meditate. So karma is very simple. What you do comes back to you. And karma is not a punishment system. Karma is not a punishment system. Karma is a very powerful tool to learn the soul lessons. What we need to learn, we learn through the karma. There is karma for us. We do certain actions, and for that actions, there are certain reactions. We have to certain consequences we have to face. So that action and the consequences put together is karma. And because of that action and because of certain consequences, we go through certain experiences. And because from that, through that experiences, we learn some lessons. So karma is not a bad thing. Karma is a good thing. So through karma, we learn a lot of lessons. So it's very important. Karma acts as a very important tool, which helps us to learn soul lessons. But to learn from our karma, we need a lot of awareness. If you don't have awareness, you keep repeating the same mistakes, then you never learn. Then the karma keeps repeating. You are stuck in the cycle. So the more you meditate, the more your awareness increases. The more your awareness increases, the more you come out of the karmic loop. Because of your awareness, you can able to identify, oh, this is the lesson I need to learn. So the moment you identify, you are out of the loop. So that's how the meditation helps you to come out of the karma. And because of karma, there are certain things which are destined to happen, which we plan before we are born. Before we are born, we take up a certain portion of the karma. We plan, okay, this is the lesson I'm going to learn. So I'm going to learn 10 lessons in this lifetime. And we plan everything, all the challenges we plan before we are born. It's called soul planning before the soul is born. Of course, we plan with the help of our spirit guides. And so our planning is based on the prarabdha karma. So we have a big portion of karma, which is sanchita. Karma of all the lifetimes put together is the reservoir of karma. It's a sanchita. It's a Sanskrit word, sanchita karma. And we bring a small portion of karma to a particular lifetime. Like in this lifetime, for example, I decide, okay, these are the lessons I want to learn. So I bring a particular portion of karma to work on this particular lifetime. That becomes prarabdha. Prarabdha karma is a karma which we have decided upon to work on it before we are born. So that is going to happen whether we like it or not. So whatever we planned through the prarabdha is a portion of karma we took from the sanchita, from our reservoir of the karmic account. We took a small portion to work on this lifetime. So this small portion of karma we are going to work on this lifetime becomes prarabdha. So whatever is the prarabdha karma, that becomes your destiny. Because that's what you have planned for this lifetime. So that is destined to happen. So that particular incidents, that particular challenges are destined to happen. So that becomes your destiny. So your destiny is because of your prarabdha karma. And now there is another question. Then what about free will? If everything is destined to happen, if everything is planned in a certain way, then what is the role of the free will? We have destiny, we have free will. Destiny is something which is destined to happen. But how you react to it, how you handle the situation is your free choice. Okay, so we have both destiny and free will. And free will always overrules destiny. Free will always overrules destiny. Even sometimes we plan certain things from the prarabdha before we are born. But we have the free will not to go through that. We have the free will to postpone it. Or we have the free will to learn through our meditation the lesson already. So for example, I have planned in my lifetime that once I reach the 30 years of age, I'm going to learn certain lessons. So this is the planning we got before we are born. So that is your destiny. That's part of your prarabdha. But at the age of 25, I came into meditation. I'm just giving an example. So at the age of 25, I came into meditation. So I started doing intensely meditation. And because of my intense meditation, my awareness level increased. And because of my awareness level, I started seeing the things crystal clear, and I started learning the things very quickly. So that means I have already learned the lesson. So if I already learned the lesson, I don't need to go through the destiny, because I used my free will to do meditation. I already learned it. So again, I don't need to go through the destiny. So always free will overrules destiny. Sometimes you have uh, you have a destiny. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. You and me are going to chat in this Skype call, in this Zoom session. It's a destiny. It's destined to happen on this particular day, on this particular time. We are going to meet. So that's a destiny. But after we meet, how we take our relationship forward is our free will. So when two people meet, it's a destiny that they are meeting in that particular time, in that particular place. It's already destined, and that is going to happen. But after they meet, how they take it forward, it's their free choice. They can become good friends and start doing good things and start creating more good karmas, or they can just ignore each other and go away, or they can start doing more bad things to each other. It's all their free choice, right? So, in simple words, you can say everybody has a destiny and everybody has a free will. For a person who is a meditator, he knows how to use the free will. For a person who is a non-meditator, he doesn't know how to use the free will. So a non-meditator goes according to the plan of destiny, and he calls it as a fate. But for a person who comes into the path of meditation, he realizes that he has the free will and he takes charge. So for him, even though there is destiny, his free will overrules the destiny. So that's the difference between free will and destiny.
With the help of meditation, you try to gain that control on your free will, and eventually you come out, you try to solve.
You don't gain the control, you know how to use the free will.
You know how to use the free.
You know how to use the free will. In every given situation, it's your free will which determines.
So much. And Pradeep, can you explain how crystals and pyramids help us in meditation? Like, are they different, or how do we use them?
Like crystal is a tool which absorbs cosmic energy, which amplifies and radiates cosmic energy. And pyramids are the same. It amplifies cosmic energy and radiates cosmic energy. But there is a difference in the quality. Pyramids radiate a very unique energy, which we call it as a pyramid energy. Like cosmic energy is everywhere in the cosmos. Cosmic energy is everywhere in the cosmos. So what does the pyramids do? Pyramids have a certain sacred geometry, which has a 51 degrees, 50 minutes angle. That we call it as a golden angle. And because of this golden angle, the cosmic energy is get coupled with the Earth magnetic field. The Earth has a magnetic field. The Earth magnetic field energy is coupled with the cosmic energy, and it creates a new energy called pyramid energy. So this pyramid energy is a very powerful energy which helps you for healing, for preserving, for transformation. It helps you in many, many ways. Okay, so when you use pyramids for meditation, it helps you to go deeper in meditation. Pyramids helps you to empty the mind very quickly, especially the beginners of meditation. When they sit under a pyramid and meditate, they empty their mind very quickly. For example, it takes 30 minutes to get into the no thought state without a pyramid. But when you are meditating inside a pyramid or under a pyramid, it just takes 10 minutes to get into the no thought state. So it's 3 times more powerful when it comes to meditation. So that's the pyramid energy. So pyramid energy is not the cosmic energy. Pyramid energy is the fusion energy of the cosmic energy and the Earth's gravity, the gravitational field, the magnetic field. So it's a fusion energy. So that's pyramid energy. The same with crystals. Crystals are high frequency beings. They are enlightened beings among the mineral kingdom. Like they belong to the mineral kingdom, like the stones and the rocks and all the things. So, for example, a normal stone has a 4 hertz frequency or a 5 hertz frequency. You can measure the frequency of objects with the modern science. We have instruments to measure. So, a normal stone, if it vibrates with 4 hertz or 5 hertz, crystals, they vibrate with almost 14 hertz to 20 hertz. I'm just giving an example, comparative study. So when you're using the crystals for meditation, it helps you to go deep into meditation. So you can hold on to the crystal, or you can wear the crystal, or you can just keep a crystal in front of you in wherever the meditation space you are in. You keep the crystals. That helps you to go deep inside because the frequency is higher, the vibrations are higher, right? So that helps you to go deep into meditation. So the pyramids help you to quickly empty your mind, and that's the pyramids. The crystals helps you in the self-healing process, because when you are in the presence of a crystal, your whole being goes into a very calm space. All the cells of your body, they vibrate in a very low vibration. So when the cells are vibrating in a low, very it's not rapidly vibrating. When your thoughts are very active, your cells are vibrating very fast. But when your thoughts are very low, also in the presence of a crystal, your vibration goes very low. The cell vibration goes very low. So when your cell vibration is very low, so then the cell goes into a transformation. The regeneration of the cell happens. The activation of the 12-strand DNA happens. What the scientists call as a junk DNA, it's not a junk DNA. It's a DNA which is yet to be activated through meditation. So crystals help in healing process, self-healing process. And there are many crystals which are used for many purposes. You can Google it and you will find the information. But if you ask, what is that one crystal which helps me in meditation, or which helps me in healing myself, or to cleanse the space, what is that one crystal? Which is the pure quartz crystal. The crystal which they gifted to me is also a pure quartz crystal. It has 144 facets, and all the angles are the golden angles in the crystal. Not one facet, not two facet, 144 facets, with every facet being in a golden angle, the angle of the Great Pyramid, Egypt. So crystals and pyramids, they both help in meditation. But you cannot just buy a crystal, keep it in the room, and you cannot expect healing process. No, that doesn't happen that way. So when you might go through some percentage of healing, but if you want the full benefit of the crystal energies, the full benefit you receive in meditation. So when you use crystals for meditation, then you get the full benefit of the crystal. So that's with the pyramids and crystals.
Great information. Can you tell us your journey with Patriji?
He's an enlightened master, and the very first time I met him, I was very much impressed. I was very much impressed with his awareness, and with his wisdom. And for me, he's an inspiration. It's like he's a living master who sets a benchmark. Like, so we haven't seen Jesus, we haven't seen Buddha, we haven't seen many enlightened masters, but he's a living enlightened master where we learn a lot of things seeing him. So I learn a lot of things by observing him, right? So his level of awareness, his level of awareness, the words he speak, the very integrity he has, and the very multidimensional personality he is. So it's more of an inspiration. Like if he can do it, you can also do it. And so for me, he's a very good friend. He's my guide. He's my mentor. He's my spiritual teacher, and he's everything for me. And he's a very good friend. So I can describe in many ways, but for me, he's a very good friend. He's a very good friend. We are connected on a soul level. So he's a very good friend, and I see him as a benchmark. Like if at all I want to live on the planet Earth, I have to live like him. So that's my benchmark. When I say I live like him, I mean I have to live with the awareness, what awareness he's having, the service he's doing, the unconditional service he's doing, the unconditional friendship he's radiating, the unconditional love he's radiating. I want that as a benchmark. And not ditto like him, like a guru and following. I don't want to be like that. But the qualities, I want to have it as a benchmark.
Great. So, Pradeep, I want to know what is your message to people who are beginning in this path? What qualities one needs to have?
It's very important. You need to be authentic. Okay. before you begin the spiritual journey, you need to be authentic. Why you need meditation? Why you want to go within? Why you want to know yourself? So be authentic, right? So when there is a certain authenticity, there is sincerity. So don't meditate just because somebody else is saying. Don't meditate just because it is become the fashion or it becomes the trend. You be authentic. That is what you need. That is what you are longing for from inside. So the more you're authentic, the more you become sincere. The more you are sincere, the more you become serious. Sincerity is something which you really need from within. Like from within your heart space, you really need something. You're looking for something. Then you say you are sincere. And seriousness is every single day you are sincere until you get what you want. That is seriousness. So if you have sincerity and seriousness in meditation, then nobody can stop you from getting enlightened. And you will be that. You will celebrate your life to the fullest. So sincerity and seriousness is absolutely very, very important. You need to be sincere for your own evolution. You need to be serious towards your own meditation practice. So that's a message for every beginner of meditation.
Thank you. And considering the current situation of COVID, how do we look at this? Many people are afraid. Some people are like, okay, this is a great stop for me to reflect. It's a great pause. How do we look at this situation?
Again, use your inner GPS. Use your inner guidance. You can see there are if you are getting into the fear, are you getting into the fear conscious or not? So that's the question. So if you are getting into the fear consciousness, then you should thank this COVID, that because of this COVID all your inner fears are coming out to the surface. So it's an opportunity for you to work on your fears, right? And bring the trust in. Trust the universe, trust the existence, trust yourself, right? So the more you bring the trust energy and the more you start facing the fears, the more it helps you to overcome that fear. You see, the truth always liberates. What is the truth? There is no death whatsoever. We are all eternal beings. So that is the ultimate truth. So when you know this truth, then it becomes easy to face all your fears. So this COVID-19, I feel it is helping a lot of people to release their fears and their anxieties. And because of this COVID and because of this lockdown, people got an opportunity to see what is priority in their life. Before, they are running behind many, many things. And now, because of this lockdown, people started seeing what is more important. Is my family important? Or is my happiness important? Or to satisfy others important? Or to make job? Or to create money, name, fame? All this false ego, false prestige. Is it important? Or my real feelings are important? So people started, it's an opportunity, I believe, people got to contemplate and to go within. So I feel this COVID-19 in a bigger picture. If you think from the spiritual perspective, this COVID-19 is helping a lot of people to focus within and to prioritize what is important in their lives. And I feel in that way it is helping a lot of people. And also the truth that there is no death, we are all eternal beings, that helps them to really come out of the fears. And I have seen many people taking this spiritual path. I have seen many people coming into meditation, coming into yoga, to create immune system, to take good food, organic food, plant-based food. So all these things happened because of this COVID. So I feel it's a good thing.
Thank you. Can we know more about the retreats, the spiritual retreats and all you do in different countries?
Okay, so part of my soul mission is to spread meditation, spiritual science, vegetarianism, and pyramid energy all over the world. That's part of my soul mission. So I realized that there are many, many people like me who are looking for truth. So I should reach out to them and I should teach them meditation so that they become an inspiration for the people around them. So whatever I have experimented on myself in that 2.5 years of intense meditation journey back in 2008, 9, 10. So whatever the experiments I have done on myself, so those experiments I have put together as a retreat. And it's a 2 weeks, it's a 14 days retreats I do. And in this retreat, I take them on to 12 to 14 hours of intense meditation per day. and another 6 to 8 hours of mindfulness. So meditation, I integrate meditation, mindfulness in the retreat, and also I also integrate detox. Like on a physical detox, it's going to be only a juice diet, right? Juice and fruits. So you go through a physical detox when you take 14 days of juice, you detox. It's based on Ayurveda. So I take it on a scientific way, and also in the retreat is going to be full of in silence, like the people are going to be in total silence. So when they are in total silence, then it's a cleansing on the emotional level, because when the more you are in silence, the more you start listening to your inner, right? And the more you start cleansing your emotions, you start releasing your emotions, you start balancing your emotions. So there is a cleansing on the physical level, and there is a cleansing on the emotional level because of the mauna, because of the silence, and because of this intense mindfulness. Your awareness is very high, and because of the intense meditation, you empty the mind. You have the opportunity to feel the transformation. So this 14 days retreat is designed to experience transformation. It's like many people say that, yes, I've been meditating every day, half an hour, 1 hour. Yes, life is positive, life is moving forward. I feel a lot of changes, but still I'm stuck in many, many things. So many people have this thing. So this retreat is designed for the people to experience enlightenment, to experience transformation, so that they become masters of their life. And once you experience that pure aspect of your own self, then there is nothing stopping you. So this retreat is designed to create teachers of meditation. So people from around the world, from more than 30 countries, they come to these retreats, and they experience transformation. And when they go back, they go back as teachers of meditation. And they go teach in their own respective countries to their own respective local communities. See, I cannot go and teach all over the world, but I can be an inspiration for another person to be a teacher, so that he teaches other people. So it's a chain reaction. Like you become, I don't like to use the word teacher, I would like to use the word inspiration. Like you become an inspiration for 10 people, and 10 people becomes inspiration for 1,000 people. It continues. It's like a chain reaction, ripple effect. So these retreats, which I design, I do it once in a year. I do it in Pyramid Valley in India. I do mini retreats, like 1 week retreats, 10 days retreats in other countries wherever I travel. But this 2 weeks retreats, the 14 days intense retreats, I do in Pyramid Valley, because the energy is very much conducive there in Pyramid Valley, Bangalore, and where it helps to go deep into meditation, into deep silence, into detox diet. So the very ultimate purpose of the retreat is to experience transformation and to become a master of your life, and ultimately to become a teacher of spiritual science. So that is a very intent. I was guided to start this 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, I was intuitively guided that I should start this. How long can you go and teach people? No, you cannot expect for you to go and teach. So we have to create teachers. So to create the very intention of this retreat is to create masters and teachers.
Great.
So that's all
I'm very eager to come and participate in that retreat. Thank you, Pradeep, for sharing your inspiring journey and giving us great insights into various topics like karma, free will, chakras, pyramid, and crystal energy, and especially guiding us on how to connect to our heart and listen to our inner voice before making any choice or decisions in our life.
It's
Thank
a
you
pleasure
for-
to connect. It's a pleasure to connect with you, Swapna. And through you, I think many people will get inspired through you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pradeep.
Yeah, thank you. Namaste.
The day belongs to you. You're all galactic warriors who thrived for this moment. This day belongs to you. Celebration is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us today. We have more speakers coming in our next episodes, so stay tuned. For upcoming events and programs, please visit www.pssmglobal.org. Subscribe to PMC Global on YouTube.